In this session, we're going to be focusing on order blocks, basic introduction to order blocks, why we use order blocks, how to use them, and how to identify order blocks. Right. So, what is an order block? An order block is a last buy before you sell candle, or a last sell before you buy candle. Right. So we can repeat together. Is a last buy before you sell candle, or a last sell before you buy candle. Right. And why are these important? These are important because these are very powerful entry points. We can actually pick trades, use a very slim stop loss, and target a bigger move. Right. So the risk reward ratio that we get when using order blocks is quite rewarding, and you can have massive profits. Right. So why do these candlesticks exist, and what's the reason behind their existence? Right. So in the event that we are in an uptrend, let's say we want to switch from uptrend to downtrend, or we want our market to turn, the areas where we find order blocks are the areas where the market usually turns, and institutions, they usually fund money around these areas. So when they fund money around these areas, remember, they're basically funding money just to move candlesticks so that they go in the direction that they want. Right. Some people might miss these moves, but it doesn't necessarily mean that you can't trade along with those institutions. Why? Because they'll have to come back to that area, and then what? They sell again. Right. So in diagram form, this is what I'm basically saying, so that we get a hang of it. Okay. So we're in an uptrend, right? What do institutions do that we usually know? They give us a false move up, false move going down. They have this order that they funded buying, and then they have this order that they funded selling. The order that they funded buying is the order block. Right. Why? Because it's the last buy before we started selling candle. But remember, since they are responsible for that buy, and since they are also responsible for this sell, they want to maximize on the sell and then come back and close that loss that they were inquiring on the buy. So basically they come to close at break even before the market starts moving in the intended direction. Right. It might not make sense now, but as we proceed together and as I show you how to trade them, it will actually make sense. We haven't done institutionally funded candles yet, but when we get to that topic, that's when I'll get deeper about how institutions pump in money and how they try to run away from those orders, how they close at break even and everything. This one I was just giving you an overview in a nutshell. Okay, sorry for that. Right. So let's go to the charts and let's try to see order blocks, right, that we can see. So let me use any pair. We'll just be using any pair that we come across. We can use US 100, as you can see here on my trading view. Right. The market can give us many order blocks. Sometimes you can even get to a point whereby you don't know which order block to choose. But as you follow these video sessions on order blocks, you actually come to a point whereby you understand why everything is happening, how it's happening, and you actually be good at choosing the right order blocks and leaving the ones that are not relevant. Right. So likewise, I like start using picking my OBs from my H4 or my D1. These are the larger time frames that I use for the type of trading that I do. Okay, so here what we can see here is let's try to zoom in. Right, let's try to zoom in around these areas. What you can actually see is as we were selling, right, let me delete this previous data. As we were selling, we have this last sell before we started buying candle. So what do we do with order blocks? We mark them. When we see an OB, we mark it, right? But since we are not doing refining order blocks, you can actually see that even when you go to a larger time frame, like even if you scale down to another time frame like H4 in this instance, if we mark that last sell, where is it? If we mark that last sell before we started buying candle, which is actually here, over here, right? What did price do? Price moved away from that area, it came back to that area, and then it started buying. So this means that in this case our order block was utilized, right? So let's look at another example. Let me choose a pair, USD card. Okay, we were trading this just a few days ago. If you still remember, we had nice entries on this one here. So let me remove all this previous data. I no longer need it, but I'll show you how the market moved. Okay, so in this instance, we were in an uptrend here, right? Let me mark the area that I'm trying to show you. We were in an uptrend, right? Then we switched downtrend here, right? So as we switched from that uptrend to that downtrend, which one was our last buy before we started selling, right? So what you can see here is with this last buy over here, and I'm gonna choose this one because from this move, this is where our break of market structure evolved, right? So what happened? You see that price came back to that area, and what happened? It fell, right? For the first time it came here, as you can see it fell. We left another order block that I'm just seeing here, and then price came back to that area, and what happened? Price fell again. So we can mark it precisely here. Now whenever we are trading with order block, our stop loss is always just above the wick of our order block. And as you can see here, if you had taken this trade based on this order block, this means that you wouldn't have hit any stop loss, but you would actually have maximized and got a good risk reward ratio, right? So let's look at the last pair that we can see. The ZIG USDT here. Let's see if ZIG USDT can show us something, right? So we have a sell, a buy, a sell, a buy, right? When we ended this small time frame sell, we can mark that last sell before we started buying, and you can actually see this is an OB, right? Price came back to that area and it gave us a nice move to the upside. Mind you, this is H4, right? So basically these are what we call order blocks, and you can mark as many order blocks as you can in the market, right? So for this session, I don't want to make it long. I just want to make it as short as possible. I'll be showing you the relevant order block to use in the next video that I'm going to make, and I'm going to be showing you some live examples if I get any live trades during the period of which I'm going to post my next video. I'll show you the trades that I would have picked. So let's go, let's practice order blocks and let's trade with them.